Welcome to Macrocode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we're going to proceed with our help desk management system. So as you can see, this is our login screen. So I'm going to sign in. So for those who are new to this channel, we have been doing a series of help desk management system, and we are trying to ensure that we close everything. So as you can see, this is our dashboard. We have the number of tickets per status. We have the bar graph, and we have the pie chart. Then we have the tickets priorities, and also we have the pie chart and the bar graphs. Then we also have the tickets down here. You can see we have the number of tickets, that is the numbering, the title, the description, priority, status, created by, created on, and the number of comments, and even the comments. So on this sidebar navigation, we have the tickets, that is the recent tickets, assigned tickets, resolved tickets, closed tickets. These are actually based on the statuses. Then you have all the comments, that is the ticket comments. We have the ticket categories, we have the ticket subcategories, we have the audit trails. So everything that we create in our application, we are able to track them. So on this particular area, you can actually go back to you can check the last item. And if you check, you'll notice that you have, this is how the audit trail looks like. You have the old values, new values, affected columns, and the primary key. Then you also have the error logs. So every time there is an error, you are able to integrate this to our application. So you're able to see errors that are actually appearing on the application, even before it is reported to you by the users. Then you have the system users. Then we also have, so here you can create a new user, do everything. Then you have the system codes and the system code details. So then we also have the system roles. So you can add a new role in the application, and within the role, you can also assign the rights to the role. So here, for example, the software developer, you can assign them to certain rights. So you can see these are all the rights in the application, and you can actually select some of the new rights for each of these particular role. Then you also have the departments. So for the departments, you can add new departments to the application. You can also have system tasks. So these are actually actions and any other kind of thing. We have the system profiles. These are all the rights that has been assigned to the roles. Then you have the system settings. This one is now where we are setting the password expiry. We have the ticket resolution timelines. Then you have the countries, and you have the cities. So within the countries, you can access the respective cities. So that is a brief overview of our application. So today I want us to do something interesting. So under users, you'll notice that we have the system users. So here you can add a new user. So you have the first name, middle name, last name, phone number, email address, gender, and even the role. So I want us to, there are certain things that you can do within a user, that is to a user. One of them is you can change their password. You can deactivate them. You can even now kind of activate them, and you can also do some things on the users. So what I want us to do, I want us to change how we are actually handling our users here. So if you go to assigned, for example, like recent tickets, you'll notice that we have our drop-down kind of actions, and we don't have it as edit and delete the way we have done it on users. So I want us to have this kind of navigation where we'll be having our actions displayed this way. So the first thing is, let's just go to the tickets, and we are going to borrow that particular idea. So these are some of the things that we did on our previous series. So if you're new to this channel and you have not watched, so you can consider watching. So I'll just copy this. So if you go to users, and index, then I'll just come down here, and I'll just replace now the edit and delete with this one. But now for us here, so I'm going to just remove this, and also remove this. So you'll be having these particular actions. And now for the actions here, I want us to now have the change password. So here I'll just do now change password. So this is for the users, change password. Then we have activate. So we'll do activate. Then you can say here deactivate. So you can deactivate a user. Activate user. then you say deactivate user. So I think that is it. Maybe then we can have update. So you can update user details. Then what other thing can we do? I think we can always enhance in case we have any other thing that we need to do within the user. Then we can maybe now have your details. So maybe you can have details, user details. So then we can just remove this one. So we'll now be having two actions. So we'll have the change password. We have the activate user. So for now, I'll just remove these other ones because we are going to only deal today with the change password. So I want us today to change, so update user. So this will be update user. Then I'm going to also remove the actions for this one. So for the change user, change password, I mean, so I want us now to go back here and we'll now call these actions. So that is the actions for the user. So if we try to open this application now, we should now be able to have some of the actions here. And you can see we have now the change password, activate user, deactivate user. Then you have update user details and the rest. So what I want us to do is we are going to create some of the Razor pages for the change user password, and we are going to ensure that we have everything well taken care of. So for the change password, we are going to ensure that a user can change their password, and this will be generated. So you can, we'll in the next series actually add email notifications so that whenever you just change the password, it sends the email notifications to the user. So if we just sign in, then we'll notice that now our update has been effected. So let's just go to the system users, and you'll notice now we have this kind of actions. So if I click on it, you'll notice that we have the change password, activate user, deactivate user, update user, and you can say view user details. So here you can say view user details. So those are some of the actions that we need. So the first thing that I want us to do, I want us to create a Razor, I want us to create a page here. So a Razor view. So let's just stop our app, and I'm going to create a Razor view here. Then we are going to call that change password. So here we are going to call it change password. So if we change the password, and this is a Razor view, so then we can now borrow, let's just borrow the create action here. Then you can paste it here. So for this particular bit, we are going to say here change user password. So this will be our title, change user password. So I've copied the, you see the create form, the one that we've been using to create a user. I've copied it and pasted it on change password. So here we'll be saying change user password. So if we do that, then the next thing that I want us to do is I want us to create a view model. So on the view model here, I want us to do, we can call it reset user password, a view model. So let's just call it reset password view model. So if we say reset password view model, this will be our view model. And now on this particular view model, I want us to add some properties. So those properties are the ones we are going to use now. So here I'll just do public. So I'll just say public, then string. Then I'll have password. So I'll just have password. So this, we need to have the password here. So I'll just do get set. So then let me zoom in so that you're able to see. Then the next thing is we can say public string. Then we need to confirm. So someone needs to confirm the password. Confirm password. Then we can do get set. Then other thing that we need is the email. So we can do public string. then we say email. So this is email. Then we do also get set. Another thing that we need on this particular aspect is we can do ID. So this is public. So this is the user ID string, then ID. Remember our ID for ASP.NET users is actually string. So since we have these two, I want us to add some things here. So on the password, I want us to say here display. So we can say display name. We can have our display name called password. So this is the password. Then we can say here data type. So you can actually annotate here and we say data type. So data type. Then we can say here data type. Then you can do dot password. So that is one. Then you can say this is actually something that is required. And down here we can also do here we can do strength. So you can say the strength string. So you can do string length. I mean, you can do 100. Then you can say you can even provide the error message. So you can do error message in case that is not met. You can provide here. So you can say then you do here 0. Then let me just zoom in so that you're able to see. Then you say must be at least. Then you can do here, let's just do 2. Then you can say characters are long. So here we can say minimum. Then we can actually put in here minimum length. So we can say minimum length is actually equals to 6. So that is our password. So if we do that, then we can also specify, we can also copy this and have it on the confirm password, because this is what they will be confirming. So then we can say this is confirm password. But now there is one trick here. So we need to ensure that the confirm password and the password are actually the same. So we can actually validate them here. So you can say compare. So we can actually compare the two. So you say compare. Then I'll do here, I say other property. So I'll just say here compare password. So compare password. Then you can say here error message. So we can do that. So this one should be compare. Then we do that. So this should be, this should be actually in that way. Then we say error message. Then we can actually do, we say the password and confirmation password. So this is the error that will be given if they don't match. Do not match. So if you do that, then that will handle your logic. So then we can now do, we can also do annotation here. So we can just do on the email, we can do display name. Then you can actually do here email address. So if we do email address, that's okay. Then I think we are good now to proceed. And so here we can also need actually to say also here, this is required. Should ensure that we have that. And we can also say this should be email address. So if we just do email address, that will be validated. So I think we are okay now. So if we go back to the change password view, let's just go back here to our change password view. So remember now here we'll be using a view models. Then we'll be actually now using reset, what we've just created. Then the first thing that we need to do is we need to ensure that we provide so we need now to have the two aspects. So we have our email address. So we can do, so the email address, we can actually hide them. So we can say here, so I want us to do here, I'll do input, then you can say type. So you can do Eden, or you can even maybe just have it. So let's just have it here, email. So you can do email. Then we can do this one, email. Then this is email. But this one we can say disabled. So we don't have the user to change their email. We can also have here, we can say, so let's just change. So let's just have this as email, this as email. And then you can have this as the ID of the user. So you have the ID and this is the ID. Then you also need to have, for example, we can even have I think we have the email and the ID. We can also disable this. So someone should not change their email address. Then we can now have password. So we need the password now. So the password should now be key in. And you can also have another password. So I'll just do here, replace this. And here we'll now have confirm password. So if you have these two, we'll now be able to know to have the confirm and the password. Then we should now be able to save these particular details. So if we do that, I'm going to remove these ones, remove also this one, remove this one, remove this one, and also remove this one. So remove also the role. So we now have then our value will say change password. So that will be our button. So we now have and this one, the action should go to change password, and this is what we are going to change, or we say confirm change password. But now on the user's controller, we need to create a view. You need to create an action, and a user's controller. So let's just go to user's controller. Then here we'll be creating another action here, which we are going to call it. So we can actually copy this. Let's just copy this, and this will now form what we are going to enhance. So we are going to call this change password, and whenever you navigate to change password, we can actually have our reset password view model. Reset password view model, and we can do here as a VM. But I think let's just do that, and also I want to add another thing. I want us to add a string, then ID. So this ID will be the user ID. So what I want us to do is we will want to say, so on this reset password view model, I want to say variable user equals to await. So you can, then we say underscore context, then we say user. So we say user dot where. So you can do where x equals to x dot. So you can actually do this. Sorry, we can do this one equals to that. So we do that. Then we say where ID equals to ID. Then we do first default async. So you can do that, or you can actually also do dot find async. So if we do find async and we supply the ID here, then that one will also work. So it depends on how you want to have it. So I have my user here. So what I need to do, I'll just do VM dot ID. I'll just pass my ID. So I'll just say here dot ID. I can also do VM dot email will be equals to that dot email. Then I'll also do VM dot what other thing do we need here? So on our change password, we just need the ID and the email. So I think that's cool. So I'll just go here and leave it that way. Sorry, I'll just do that. So we now have our email and password. So the next thing that I want us to do is we need to return our VM here. And why do we get this? It's because, so you say the return type of must be void or, so you can say here task. So we can do that. So if we do this, then the error will be gone. So you can see that is how we have addressed that. So if we now navigate to our change password, if we now go to users index, then we need now to specify the navigation. So we'll say sp action. Our action will be that, and you can actually specify the root. So we say, sorry, so we say sp root. So we'll do root. Then we need to say here is the ID. Then here I'll just say at what is it? Model item. So I need to take it's actually item. So you just take item, then you just do .id. So this will take us now to the change password page. So let's just test what we've done. So if you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. We notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. So if you're one of them, please do subscribe, because you actually encourage us to do more of these videos, and you also help us to reach more of the audience. So, and also one thing is you need to like the video, because that help us to actually reach more people through the YouTube algorithm. So I'm going to sign in. Then if I just sign into the application, I'll come down here and go to system users. So if I just go to one of the users here and say change password, it will now present me with the change a password email, that is page. You can see you have the user ID and we have the email address. So the next thing is we need to provide the confirm password and even the password. So what we have not done now, we have this particular page, but if we click change password, what will happen? So that's what we need to handle. So if we go back to our controller, I want us to go to the controller here. So we need to create another action, and the action that we did was actually confirm. So we need to do confirm, and we are only expecting the reset password view model. So this confirm change password is actually what we have on our, if you go to change password, then confirm as for the form, this is what we need here. So this action is what we are now trying to complete. So because we have this, so our reset password VM will actually now send us the new password and the confirm password. So this is where now we need to handle the logic. And the logic for this, we can actually first check if the user already exists, or you can even proceed and just do the change of password. So here, I want us to do some things. So let's just remove that. So I want us to first do one thing. So what we need to do here is to get the user whose password is being changed. So we'll just do variable user. Then we just do, so this one will be equals to, so this will be equals to await. Then we just do underscore context. Then we say, sorry. So we just do underscore context. Then we say users. So users, then dot where. So we just need to say dot where x. So we just do x dot id equals to that is it. So we do id first or default. So since we have this, then the next thing that we need to do is we need to remove the password of the user. So we just do underscore user manager. then we just do remove password. So if we remove the password, we need to supply the user who is actually now whose password is being changed. So you see, we have removed and we have supplied this particular user here. Then the next thing is we need to pass we need now to register the new password. So we just do variable result equals to await. Then we can do underscore user manager, then add password. So we need to do add password. So if we add the password, then we need to supply the user first. So we need to supply the user and the password that they have supplied. So remember the password is now we do vm dot password. So this is the password that they want to use now to log in after changing. So after doing that, we can now check the results if this is successful. So if we do dot succeeded, then we can actually now maybe pop up a message. So, and if this is succeeded, there is some items that you can do. So you might want to update some data in the database. One thing is you can take the user who's done this, and you can say password changed on. So if you have if you are tracking when the password was changed, I don't think we are tracking that, but you can now modify some of the things here. So because we are not updating any information, or you can actually update, for example, the lockout. So you can say if the lockout was enabled, we can actually do here false. Then you can also say if this guy was locked, you can disable them. So if this guy is locked, so you can do here, you can put in null. Then so locked out enabled, so you say true, you can enable that. Maybe then you can say access failed count. If we have, I don't know if you, yes, access failed count, you can put in 0. So this is when you reset the password. Then now what you can do is you can do underscore context, then you do users. So if we do users dot update, so you can update now user. Then once this is updated, then you can now save the changes. So you can do underscore, so underscore context, then you can do save changes async. So this one you can do await. And remember, always our changes are being saved. You do here user dot. So this is not now the user. So we need to get the user who is logged in, who is doing the changes. Then you get user ID. So get user ID, and we do that. So this one will save our changes. And now down here, after doing that, so this one is saying cannot, so this one is, then we can do here to string. So this one is saying cannot convert from string to boolean. So I think we can get the logged in user. So you'll say variable logged in user equals to user dot get user ID. So this one is our user ID. And when you are saving the changes, we need to have this. So let's just check if that is what we have on our DB context. Yeah, I think let's just, so we can say await save changes async. Save changes async. So this is what we need to use. So since we have that, then the next thing is we can, if this is successful, we can actually return a success message. And we can borrow some of the success message from what we have done here. So we can do here under users now, we can pass the message and we can say password reset successfully. So if you do password reset successfully, Then down here, maybe you can now do return, or you can redirect to index. So you can say redirect, return, redirect to index. Redirect, then you can do here index. So this will redirect us to the page. But in case there's an error, you can always do else. Then you can pass in an error here. And that is what we have been doing on our previous. So then there's something we introduced on our previous application. So I think we'll just enforce it here. So here we'll just do error. Then you can say password details. So if we do that, we say password details could not be reset successfully. So if we do that, then we now have that. And all these things here, we can wrap it in a try catch. So we say try, then we close it. Then inside here, we can do catch. Then we have our exception. This is our exception. Then we can close it. Then if you go back to our tickets, there's something we introduced called error logs. So for those who are watching our videos, so we are going now to introduce we raise an error here. So if you go to users, you can add this and we raise it here. And you can also add the error here. And you can do here plus. You can do here plus ex.message. So that is how we are able to do that. Then here, we can now return this to view, and you can always also return this to view. So if we do that, then our error here will be gone. So I think we have done much. So the next thing is we can now try to change our password. So let's just launch our app. So for those who are watching this video for the first time and you want to get the source code, you can always claim the source code. But also we'll be improving this particular aspect so that whenever you change the password, it can also email you the password. So if you want to see how that is going to work, so remember to subscribe, like the video, and even comment down below. So like the video so that you help us reach more of the audience, which actually will recommend us to the Google algorithm, and we are able to now provide more of this content. And in case you want to buy us coffee, you can always buy us coffee using the link down below, which also motivates us in posting more of these videos. So we'll just sign in, and then let's see how this goes along. So you can see we now have our app here. So if we go to system users, so you'll notice that you have our users here. So I'll just try to open one of this particular user and try to say here, change password. So you see this is the account that we are being given. So I'm going to provide the password here. So I'll just do provide the password and also provide the password here. Sorry. And remember, the password should match. So I'll just do that, and that's okay. So if I click change password, we had added our breakpoint. So if you come back here on the view model, you'll notice that we have our confirm password and the password. But now we don't have the ID and the email. So that's very important because we need the ID and the email. So if you go back to our app, so let's just go back to our change password. So remember we had this disabled. So you can actually have this input, then you can say this is you can do here hidden, then you can say can do hidden. So you can maybe remove these two, then you can have them just down here. So you can have these two here, and you can actually hide them. So you can say here hidden, and this one also hidden. So if we remove that, then we'll only be showcasing the change password. So let's just remove those two. So if we do that, and here I'm going to repost. So let's just confirm. So we'll want to have the ID and the email. But now let's just confirm and see how this works. So We are going to now post the change password and see if we are going to change the password. So I've just modified our UI. So try to hide the two files. So actually the user should not be able to see the IDs, and even you can hide the email address. So the email address we can show them. So if I just go back here and try to change the password, so you can see now we have the password and confirm password. So I can do that, and I can also add another password. So if I click save, you'll notice that on our view model, we are now having the ID and the email. So that's another way on how you can do that. So if you are having that issue, you can always hide these two. So you just put in the hidden, then hidden. So the user will not be able to see them. Then the next thing is we need to, if we step into, you'll see we have the logged in user. Then it will get the user whose password is being changed. So you see this is the user, and that is Mwangi. Then it will remove the password. So you see the password has been removed. Then it will now create the password. So if we proceed, let's just see the result. It is actually succeeded. So if we proceed, then you are going to get now the success message. So you can see the password has been reset successfully. So that's one thing. So for example, I want to reset the admin account. So I'm going to say here change password, and I can also do provide admin, and also provide here admin, and I can change the password. So that's how you can change the password. So if I proceed, my password is being changed, so I can actually log out and log in as admin and try to log in with my new password. So you can see I've logged in with that account, but it doesn't have the rights. So you can see I've been denied the rights. So if I try to log out and maybe use the one for Mwangi, so we have actually used the admin. But if I use my main account, I can now log in. So let me just sign out and try to log in using my main account. So this is my main account. So you can see I have the rights. So that is now what happens. So you can actually now change the password. But assuming you want to for change password, you can provide the name of the person. So you can even return now the. So let's just maybe provide the email address and the user. So here we can say email, and then we can say disabled. So you can say disabled. Then another thing, we can remove this one. So if we go to our reset password view model, we can say here, we can provide here maybe the user full name. So you can say full name. Full name, and these represent, you can say it is actually user full name. So this will be user, so this will be user full name. So if we have the user full name, then if we go to our view, our action here, we can always provide the full name of the user. So I'll just do here full name equals to user.first name. Then I can do here this way. Sorry, I can do this here. Then I can just do this. So I don't know if we had a full name here. So let me just do full name user dot full name. Yes, I think we had a full name. So if we do that, then you should be able now to see the full name here for the user. So you can do email address, and you can also do here full name. So you can provide the details of the user whenever you are trying to change their password. So I'll just do here now full name, and here full name, and this is full name. So if we try to change the password, let's just proceed. So you can also improve this particular function such that whenever you change the password, it actually sends email notification to the user. Or you can, instead of doing maybe allowing them to change the password, for example, you are the admin, you don't need to give them or put in the password. You can actually randomize the password. So that is also what you can do. So you can actually randomize this password and automatically it will actually give it to the user. So if we just log in, you'll notice that when you go to system users and try to change the password, you'll notice now we have the full name and we have the email address, and you can as well still change the password. So I think that is what we wanted to cover today. For those who are watching this video for the first time, please consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So you can see we are now able to reset the password, and that is how this works. So I'm going to leave it there for today. In our next video, we are going to improve this particular aspect and show you how to deactivate, activate users, and actually work on some of those items. That is it for today, and see you in our next episode. Bye.